It was the end of century and the beginning of a new century. The year 2000 was thought to be, by many, to be the coming of Armageddon, the final battle between evil and good, and the computers will collapse. I know most of you will remember what I'm talking about. It's Y2K, that everybody talk about, that the computer systems will collapse because of the date change and the commercial planes will be landed. In other words, that was the end of the world. Coincidentally, it's also the time that I came to New Zealand, even though I believe the two incidents are not necessarily related. Now my hira my kitena hui no Muhammad koto ingawa na Somalia how. As you've heard, my name is Muhammad. I'm Somali origin. First of all, can I acknowledge Jenny and for your kind introduction. I also acknowledge the UNHCR representatives that are here today, also the government representatives and NGOs, and each one of you a very good afternoon. Now, I would like to thank the National Refugee Resettlement Forum for providing me this opportunity to talk with you today. Our topic, as you know, this afternoon for this symposium concerns establishing the feeling of belongingness. To give you some idea of the importance of this concept, love and belonging is the third rank on Maslow's hierarchy of needs behind psychological, physical needs such as food and shelter and safety. And also, as Brown put it, in the absence of love and belonging, there will always be a suffering. What I have to say to you stems from my personal journey and my personal experience, and it's not intended as a prescription for other refugees or former refugees. My own community, the Somali community of Wellington, is not a large one, but which is probably to similar many of the experiences that's faced by many refugees. However, it's large enough to get lost in. By this I mean it's tempting for people to remain within their community of safety. In other words, fellow community members, the language is shared, the culture is shared, and the experiences are similar, and the history is common. The danger with this temptation, as you know, is to remain safe, that we will never be able to integrate into the wider community. We will hold on to our past and wait for our children to take and become true citizens of this country. Through schooling, they will become fluent in English language and feel embarrassed in our own ways of inability to express ourselves as human beings. Make no mistake, this is a very critical challenge for a lot of us. It has been my experience that many refugee migrants will never leave their community of safety. Today I will share with you my personal stories, what make me feel to belong after 15 long years. Now, when I came here as a refugee, former refugee from Somalia, I came as a young person, the image that we have before I actually came to the refugee Mangere camp was that I was going to the land of honey and milk. As many of the refugees, when I first came to refugee Mangere, I was transferred to Wellington, where I am today, and this is the only city that I have lived in the past 15 years. I have decided that I will do whatever it takes to achieve my goals and aspirations, and nothing will stop me because I was young and naive and hungry. Not hungry for food, but hungry to achieve and be ambitious. In that sense, I have taken a number of challenges, including doing foundation courses, learning the English language that I'm speaking to you today. And there were challenges along the way. There was no perfection at all. I have to admit I have faced many challenges, not from my own from my own community as well, from the wider wider New Zealand community. And those challenges was only encouraged me more. So when I enrolled, even though I have never attended high school because of the past history that I just shared, I went and completed my BSW, Bachelor of Social Work. And as soon as I was finishing in my final year, came the opportunity where I could connect to the wider New Zealand community. And through a contact that I make at the university, coming this opportunity where I was called by one of the largest social service organizations in New Zealand, Barnados, New Zealand. And they said to me, we have this project, we are thinking about this one-stop shop to be established in Low Hut, tighter area. Some of you might be familiar if you're from Wellington. And they said, you know, we have got this old convent building that is sitting here doing nothing, and we want somebody to take ownership of this and come up with its name, but also establish this one-stop shop. Now you can imagine someone like me with very less experience, fresh from university, who have never done any social work at all. I said yes, because I believe in myself, and I took that opportunity. So I was given a full-time job, a salary, a vehicle. What else do you want to do that? So next 8 weeks, I was actually knocking every single door of that suburb, almost 1,500 houses, with 2 other people that I have employed on a contract basis. Now that given me a brief window of what the New Zealand people are like. So knocking someone's door and saying, this is me, even though I was wearing the Bananas Green famous t-shirt, that only enabled it because my name was different. My name is Mohamed, and I look different. Now, some of you who are moviegoers, you understand what I'm talking about when I use an example as the Happy Feet movie. Now, some of you know the character of that movie, Mumble, who is different to other penguins, projected by the other penguins because it was different, it didn't have the heart of a song. So what Mumble did was, at the end of that movie, went along, he thought about it, and he realized that the food source of that penguins going down. So what he came up with is a tap dancing, a skill that they needed. So he came back and said, I will save you from the hunger. So at the end of that story, they accept him because they needed more. All I'm saying is, we don't have to have special skills to be accepted into the society. We don't have to be the best golf player in this country to make the difference. Now, my second story is through something that came, small conversation or exchange of a business card of someone that I have met in one of these conferences. Now that's where I am now become a director of an organization that is working in the food sector for New Zealand. And through that, I actually get to meet with a lot of people from the export sector. In fact, last year alone, I have traveled in New Zealand 52 times from Invercargill to Auckland, from the west coast to the east coast of New Zealand, not as a refugee, but as a true citizen of this country. And I am glad that my company is contributing. That's one of 5 based organizations in New Zealand in that sector. And as you know, the Southeast Asia is actually worth $800 million a year. So my company is part of that success, and we continue that. In my particular case, I can't stand up in front of you to say there were no challenges. As I said before, there were challenges, but I think we need to raise above those challenges. When people say that you cannot do or you achieve or you cannot integrate better, I think you have to say otherwise. I want to be, the other thing that I have done is actually join social club, sporting club that make me connect to the local community, including the Toastmasters that I have become a competent communicator awarded in that area. Now, my final comments that I would like to make today is that if we can manage to raise our eyes with pride and confidence as new citizens of this country, we see the horizon and the possible futures for ourselves. We have arrived, indeed we have arrived, one of the safest and most peaceful lands on earth. Yes, there will be difficulties, as I said before, there will be challenges, but we have survived to come here and we can overcome this. So look the horizon for the opportunity rather than look back what we have lost and what we have discarded. I trust I can pass on this positive message of hope, and I wish the best for all of you that are here today. Thank you.